So it's official now that the XM1 Wireless will be released in Q1 2022. And I'm gonna tell you what we know and what we can expect from the mouse. I tried something a little bit new for this video with a green screen, but it didn't quite work as well as I planned. But hopefully you guys won't mind. I will keep trying new things on the channel to see what you guys enjoy the most. Let's start. So it's of course going to be the same shape as the XM1R, it's going to be USB Type-C, it's gonna be lighter than the XM1R, and it's also gonna have the 3370 from Pixar. It will also have a new micro switch for the middle mouse button, new side button construction, and larger feet. This is all we know for sure, but I'm gonna give you some details that I'm fairly sure about. Some of the guys at Endgame Gear have been making mice for a very long time, and they are very good at what they are doing, so we can expect the wireless performance to be very good with the XM1R. I suspect it will be pretty much as good as the Superlight, and the click latency will also be top tier. The XM1 shape is most likely very familiar to all of you, so I won't go too into detail with that, but it's mainly a claw grip mouse and it's very good for that, especially for medium and large hands. It's not a small mouse by any means though, so if you prefer smaller mice, you might not like the XM1. In terms of how I perform in-game with the mouse, I can aim very well with the mouse, but I'm not quite as comfortable as I am with some other mice. This is mostly down to the fact that I always have to spend quite a bit of time to get adjusted to the shape. It's not really an issue for a standard consumer, but for a reviewer it can be irritating when the testing period does get extended. And even after getting adjusted to the shape, it still feels very long and quite wide. My middle and my ring finger are fairly extended towards the front of the mouse because the clicks are lightest to actuate from here than compared to what they would be from the middle. And I enjoy lighter clicks, so that's what I have to do with the XM1R, but for example with the Superlight where the clicks are fairly light from the middle as well, I usually hold my fingers here and my fingers are far more curved than they are with the XM1R where they are more extended like this. The extremely slanted size of the XM1R also add to that uniqueness. They are there so it's easier to lift the mouse, but I myself would enjoy a little bit more flat sides. I completely understand the design though, and larger mice sell more than smaller ones, and this is their first shape, so it does make sense. For me personally, larger symmetrical mice like the XM1R are usually great for tracking, but not so great for precision and flick shots. But I do not really have any issues with the XM1R in CSGO or Valorant. As the XM1 Wireless will be lighter than the XM1R, I wouldn't be too surprised if there are some units with some build quality issues in the first few batches. This is nothing out of the ordinary when companies go with a lighter structure. We've seen this with pretty much all the manufacturers, for example even Zowie had issues with the C-series. But with these specs and the guys behind Endgame Gear and the guys who work there, it's kinda hard to expect anything but greatness out of the XM1 Wireless. If the price will be about 90 euros or dollars, it will be one of the best releases of the year. I'm even more excited about the XM1R Mini though, that should be coming in Q1 next year. The shape might be something like the Extra 5 M42, which is kinda like a small XM1R, and if they release the mini version as well as instantly, it will be a banger for sure. That's pretty much all we know and all I can speculate about. Basically for any of you guys who love the XM1R already, you don't have anything to worry about. Except of course those possible issues with the first few batches. All in all, I know that many of you guys have been expecting for this, and I have as well. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button, and see you in the next one.